guys, welcome back to our Facebook Live Q&A. Seems redundant to say, but we are live. Tonight, some questions I have. First of all, I should introduce myself. Michelle Sellars, Cascadia Dog Training. If I didn't do that already, I may have. It's been a crazy day. We have something exciting due to the influx of puppies that I've had lately for training. I guess it's that time of year. People are getting puppies for Christmas. I've introduced a puppy starter program, which is super exciting. I do have a question regarding that coming up. We just introduced it today. So it's going to cover, it's 5 sessions. They're 45 minutes to an hour. Puppies fizzle out pretty quickly. It's for dogs, 8 weeks to 3 months kind of thing. It's just the start off. It'll be crate training, potty training, how to walk on a leash politely, basic obedience. Hey, Mark, long time no talk, buddy. How to walk on a leash politely, basic obedience, and troubleshooting the bratty behaviors and that kind of stuff. So I'm really excited about that. If you want to know more, hit up our website, cascadiadogtraining.com, and in the programs, you'll see the Puppy Starter Program. So, hi. All right, I'm going to get into the questions that I had during the week, like I usually do. I just kind of gather all the questions that I have that people that find me on Facebook ask me, or clients ask me, or even just friends. So, I'm going to bring up my notes here. Since I just mentioned the puppy starter package, I'm going to scroll down to Laura's question. So I'm new to owning a puppy and never had a dog before. I should preface this with just saying Laura's a girlfriend of mine. They just got a Shepherd Cross puppy, which sounds really adorable. It's brand new. So her and her husband were asking about training. So I just said, you know what? Feel free to check it out, doing a puppy starter program. So she said, I'm new to owning a puppy and never had a dog before. Can you tell me what's included in your puppy starter package, why we need it, what can we expect from the process, and what we can expect from the outcome? Laura, so first things first, you've never had a puppy, you've never had a dog. You are in for some frustration, my friend. I'm sorry, I love you, but puppies are so frustrating, and that's part of the reason I'm pretty sure that they're so cute is so that we put up with it. With 2 young boys, you are going to have your hands full. So hopefully Alex is roaring, ready to go, helping you out with everything. Come on, Alex, I know you are. So what's included in the puppy starter package? I just went over that. So we've got 5 sessions, 45 minutes to an hour, leash walking, crate training, potty training, basic obedience. Most of this is going to be trained with food. That's how puppies learn really, really quickly. So why we need it. Now, this question was really awesome. I'm glad that she asked this. You do not need this program. But I do recommend you get some sort of training for your puppy. Okay, so whether you do it through what you read online, whether you do it through classes. I know that there's classes here in North Van run by Ann Jackson. She does a Puppy Perfect Start, I think it's called, and it's group classes, and they're great, and they focus on basic obedience. You're not going to get the crate stuff. I believe the dogs start at 14 weeks, so they start to move into a little bit more of your obedience, your heel, your sits, your downs, your stays, that kind of thing. Still a great option, probably more affordable for some people. Private one-on-one training is more expensive. It's just the reality of it. What can we expect from the process? Well, you can expect to learn new things every week, learn things that you probably didn't think of. Actually, I know that's the case because I go through a lot in the first 2 sessions, just with regards to basic structure for your puppy that people never thought of, such as how letting your puppy roam around the house, right? So that's one little insight into this program is no free roaming. I mean, Laura, you've got little boys. When they were 6 months old, I know your puppy's younger than that, but when they were 6 months old, they were never left unattended when they weren't in a playpen or a crib or what are those the circle of neglect. That's what I call them. It's terrible. The little bouncy chairs, you know what I mean? Puppies are no different. They can get into trouble. They can choke on things. They can pee everywhere, which is probably already happening to you. Crates are essential for puppies, in my professional opinion. They keep everything quarantined, all the destruction, all of the peeing, everything. Keeps it quarantined, keeps it together, doesn't allow your puppy to get into mischief, and starts it off right. Like if you start crate training now, man, you're not going to be struggling later with an adult dog, right? And crate training early can help prevent separation anxiety, but I'll get into that later because we have a separation anxiety question. What can we expect from the outcome? You know what I tell everybody who does puppies is that you're not training your puppy. I mean, you are, but what you're doing is you're setting life up with your adult dog for success, right? So I hope that makes sense. So you're not, while you are essentially training a young dog, a puppy, you're setting life up for later to make your life so much easier. And people who do, the Puppy Starter Program get their fees applied to, off-leash training programs or whatever like that in the future, right? So you're not going to have to pay for the puppy starter and then pay full price for the off-leash training. So I've got someone kind of moving into that, and what I recommend is start really, really young with the puppy, and then maybe between 8 months to a year, we can start to do some off-leash training. All right. So Laura, I just noticed you're on. I just went through your stuff. Hey, Melissa. Sorry, just reading here. Awesome. I kind of went through what we were talking about earlier today. Is your puppy crate trained? Sorry, my shoulder's super itchy. Or are you working on it? Answer that. Oh, did Melissa tag you? That's hilarious. Okay, so, love it. Thanks, Mark. Mark is a buddy from actually where we went down training. I've been to two training seminars with Mark. He and his wife, Annalisa, are amazing. Annalisa was on last week. I have learned so much from Mark. He's amazing. He's down in California. I wish I could go visit him all the time. It is beautiful down there. Yeah, okay. I'm going to get to another question while I wait for Laura's response on the crate. Let's go to the top. So actually, funny enough, Mark, I have a question from a client of mine named Mark. So I was at Mosquito Creek with Dusty the other day. He's got a 3-year-old, I believe, 3-year-old chocolate lab. So I was at Mosquito Creek with Dusty the other day, and he passed 7 dogs total, no growling and barking, no damage, no contact, but I'm wondering what I could have done differently. I was using the tap on the e-collar while passing, good. And he was in a heel, but it didn't seem to make a difference, and he went after the dog anyways. Okay, so Mark, I can pretty much picture exactly what's going on. It's what we've been working with Dusty. The one thing you have to understand is that this rehab with Dusty is a process, okay? So we've been through, I think we actually did 9 sessions. Yeah, I think we just had our 9th not too long ago. Kind of wrapped up our advanced training package. Now, I know I've explained this to you before, but just when those 9 sessions are up, doesn't mean all of the problems are instantly gone. It's going to be a process. And I know you know this. I'm just saying to kind of, other people that have realistic expectations with no matter what trainer you're using, no matter what method you're using, anything like that, any problem that your dog has had for a long time, it's not like it's just going to go away, right? So we can break our ankle. And funny enough, I actually have a client going through this right now, broke his ankle really badly about 6 months ago. Sure, like all the bones are healed. So like all that stuff, all that major healing part is done. But every once in a while, his ankle still bugs him. He can walk further without having a problem. He can do more without having a problem. But every once in a while, there's a little slip. And I want you to kind of think about things with Dusty like that. Okay, so getting back to the huge deal that he was able to pass 7 dogs with no problem. I remember when we started, you could not take him to an off-leash trail because he was unpredictable with the bigger dogs, right? You didn't know what was going to happen and when. And last I saw him, as long as the other dog wasn't giving him the stink eye, as long as the other dog didn't care and didn't want to come into his space, he was just fine. And that's amazing. And I'm guessing that's what happened with the other 7 dogs. Now, you and I worked on kind of keeping Dusty between you and the fence. So when you say he was in a heel, I'm assuming that's where he was. You recalled him back, had him between you and the fence, but not cramping his style too much, giving him enough space to, pardon me, feel comfortable. And I know you've also been using the chuck it stick, which you guys, this is brilliant. If you need to create space for your dog and don't want to look like a weirdo carrying a giant stick around with the sweep motion, Mark carries just the chuck it stick because it's something you would normally carry while you're walking your dog. And then he can easily use it to kind of sweep in front and behind of Dusty if a dog's kind of cramping his style. Dusty's really nervous around his personal space. So Mark, it's too bad you're not on because I kind of want to get some more insight into kind of how close this dog came in. Was it staring him down? But regardless, let's get to what you could have done differently. So with Dusty and what we worked on with, the tap, tap, tap on the e-collar, that's fantastic, but it wasn't enough, obviously, to interrupt that. So his state of mind was way higher. So the tap, tap, tap is going to be the second that his demeanor changes. Dusty, the happy-go-lucky lab. The second you see this, tap, 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 doesn't snap him out. You're going to need to roll up and don't look at the numbers. Let Dusty tell you what number means something to him. Okay? So you're going to have to roll up a little bit, tap it again. And we're not looking for a yelp. We're not looking for a deer in the headlights. We're not looking, but if the behavior doesn't change, you didn't go high enough, right? What we're looking for is one of these. Like, oh, yeah, you need me? Okay, what's up, right? So Dusty does that, then you need to give him the direction. Remind him to stay in a heel, okay? So you need to roll up and you need to interrupt that state of mind from the second he changes from happy-go-lucky lab into the moment that he changes into, I'm going to stare you down, I'm going to mess you up, right? With Dusty, it can be pretty quick. So get on that e-collar remote, put him on a leash, give it a pop. I mean, I don't know. I think he was off leash. Mosquito Creek is an off leash trail, and that's where you like to go with him. So that's what I'm assuming. Yeah, so that's exactly why I was just reading that last part again. That's exactly why the tap, tap, tap didn't work, because he was already kind of too far gone mentally. Okay, so I hope that helps. So if he starts to lock in on a dog, the second, I cannot say that enough, the second that he starts to lock in on that dog, you need to interrupt that. Okay, if he keeps doing it, you need to go higher, right? There might be a little yelp, there might be something. That's fine. It's not what we're going for. We're not, going for necessarily hurting the dog at all. Let me say that. But sometimes you need an interruption high enough that your dog doesn't go after that other dog. All right, cool. Thanks, Mark. If you watch this, and if I remember, I'm going to try, I will tag you in it. So let me see here. We're working on crate training, and yes, Melissa tagged me. Sheila, you made it on. Awesome. Laura, so one thing that's going to help you with crate training, what I want you to do for the next 2 weeks is you're going to keep the door open. Do not close the door on the puppy. You're going to feed the puppy only in the crates. You're going to put the bowl at the back of the crate, okay? And that's the only way the puppy eats. And with puppies, this works quicker because usually they eat 3 times a day. So morning meal, you're just going to put it in there. You're going to walk away. Don't close the door. We want this puppy to associate the crate with life itself. And by feeding him in there, I think it's a him. Sorry, I always refer to dogs as a him because of Sam. We want him to be able to go in there and leave on his own accord. And what I always start to see happening is in between meals, if there's a nice little comfy thing in there, Hopefully he doesn't chew it up. If he's a chewer, leave it out of there. But he'll start going in there. It kind of becomes his bedroom, right? So you get this comfy little space and it starts to play to his den instinct, okay? So for the next 2 weeks, all meals are fed in the back of the crate. Don't close the door. Let the puppy come and go to eat their food, but it's the only way that they eat, okay? Sweet, good. Let me know how it goes. Laura, let's just train your dog on here for free over the next 5 weeks. We got this, man. I'm gonna take a sip. Anybody try this stuff? Oh, Laura, you tried it at softball. I don't mind it. It's not great, but it's not terrible. Sheila, what is going on with your dog? Oh, you don't get to hang out? We can hang out anyways. We could do, I don't know, let's do the stuff that I don't need hands-on for on here and then swing a couple sessions for leash walking and obedience. Sheila, if you're on right now, you had said, let me bring up my Instagram for a sec here. Sorry, guys. Tom, another one of my dog training BFFs. Love it. Okay. Here you are, Sheila. So you said, I need help with Mocha. He's regressed and I'm confused. If you post that GIF on here, I might die. So I shouldn't have even given you that idea. Can I do it? No, I don't. You guys, there's the creepiest GIF out there, and it's an ICU thing. And now Tom and our friend Jen and I use it because it makes us laugh. And it's really creepy. Okay, so Sheila, did you hear I think it was 2 weeks ago, I talked about how I want to know if Mocha's in a crate when you leave. Because it doesn't sound like he is, because he's using the water dishes as a swimming pool and he's losing his mind when you come home. So this could be a minor form of separation anxiety, right? And he's also beating up on his sister when you come home. All of your dogs need to be in crates. 100%, no ands, ifs, or buts about it. How many dogs do you have? I feel like you have 4 or 5. That stresses me out, and I'm a dog trainer. So Sheila, let me know how many dogs you have, whether or not they're crate trained. Okay, I will come back to you. Let me go back to my notes. Okay, Maggie. Oh, this was a message through Facebook. I'm not sure, Maggie, where you are, but speaking of separation anxiety, so I did make some notes on this. I've had a crazy day. My brain is fried. So Maggie says, we have a 6-year-old Staffy cross with really bad separation anxiety. We can't leave her alone for long without her destroying the house and barking incessantly and driving the neighbors crazy. Ah, it sucks. What can we do to help her? We haven't been out for date night in 4 years without getting someone to watch her. 4 years, you guys. Yeah, there are dogs, they're crazy, but we love them. Okay, so Maggie, I want to cover our bases, okay? I want to make sure that we are not doing things, I want to make sure we're not doing the wrong things, okay? So we want to make sure that if we're doing these things, we understand that we could actually be creating potential problems for the future. And we could also be making problems that already exist worse. Okay. So when you leave and when you come home, and Sheila, you said the 3 dogs are crate chained. This can also apply to you. When you leave and when you come home, wherever you're going, you guys look at the comments. It's so bad. Tom. I can't handle this. Stop. It's all I'm going to be able to see. Can I hide that? Oh, I have to hide it. Oh, you guys. Oh, it's so creepy. Okay, sorry. When you leave, hiding it. When you leave and when you come back, don't say anything to your dogs, okay? So we think that when we say, oh, honey, you know, let's say your dog's name's Tulip. I don't know the name of your dog. Tulip, it's okay, honey. You know, mommy's going to be back in just 10 minutes. It's okay. And you give her a little pet on the head. Your dog does not hear, I'm going to be back soon. Don't freak out. Everything's good. Don't worry about it. What your dog hears is the excitement in your voice, the tone. Oh, I got all this stuff floating across. Here's the, what is the word I'm looking for? Not influx, but upward inflection in your voice. And what that means to the dog is, yes, good girl. I want you to be anxious. I want you to be freaking out. I want you to be really stressed out right now. That's not at all what we want for our dogs, but that's what they hear based on the tone in our voice. Okay, one thing that I tell people is dogs do not know words unless they're trained. Okay, when it comes to just everyday talk to our dogs, anything with an upward inflection is going to be praising. Anything that's kind of low and I don't want to use the word threatening, but low and a little more grumbly is going to kind of be like a punishing or disapproving tone of voice. Okay, so I'll give you an example. I can walk up to a dog and say, bad dog. Oh, you're such a bad dog. What are they going to do? Oh, tail wag. Oh, away we go. Right? I can be good dog. Oh, they're going to slink down, right? They don't hear the words. They hear that inflection. Okay? Don't say anything. Just leave. Just come back. And as a matter of fact, when you come back, don't even go to the crate. That's it. Like, don't even acknowledge your dog for 10 minutes. This is if they're crate trained. If they're not, we're going to get to that. Okay. The next is don't obsessively give your dogs affection. Okay. So don't talk to them all day. Don't pet them all day, and don't let them do that nudge thing that they do under the arm. Because we think we're helping. We think we do by petting our dogs and soothing them. But what we're doing is we're creating dogs that are dependent on us based on affection, right? Because dogs learn very early that they control their environment with affection, okay? And affection can almost, I did a blog post on this, affection can almost become a drug for your dog. I know it sounds crazy, but you pet your dog, you pet your dog, you pet your dog, you pet your dog, you leave, okay? All those hormones, those feel-good hormones, they happen to dogs too. And it happens when we're petting them, when we're paying attention to them, when we're loving on them, when we're talking to them. And then you leave and they're gone. And your dog can quite literally spiral into this withdrawal, right? Because you're gone, the affection's gone. That's the only way they know how to control their world. And all of a sudden they're lost, right? Yes, it makes us dependent on it. What I want you to do is take whatever affection you're giving them, or giving, what was I calling your dog? Tulip? Sorry. Let me know what your dog's name is. Your Staffy, your dog. Whatever level of affection that you're giving your dog, we need to decrease that to 30% of what you're giving them. So that means here's 30%, right? You need to be taking 70% of that away. Okay? No ands, ifs, or buts about it. This is the #1 thing that I have seen help people with separation anxiety. Okay? So, flip this over. I just want to make sure I don't miss anything. Like I said, my brain is mush. Yes, so the most important piece of the puzzle that people miss, your dog needs to start spending time on their own with you home. Okay? So what I mean by that is it needs to become a normal part of everyday life for your dog to just go hang out over there. Not at your feet, not following you around the house, not, you know, beside you while you're working. No, none of that. 40%, usually I say 50, but with dog separation anxiety, we start lower. 40% of the time that you are home, your dog needs to be spending on their own, whether it's in the crate or on place. If you don't know place, I say this every week, go to the foundation playlist on my YouTube channel. I will hook it up in the comments, as I do every week. I'll pin it to the top. 40% of the time that you're home, your dog needs to be spending away from you in the crate or on place, on the other side of the room, or better yet, in a different room. Okay? So spending time on her own needs to be part of her day. It needs to be like things that we do every day, hopefully, like brushing your teeth, bathing, or washing your face, or whatever it is. It needs to just become a part of the day so that when you move into, you know, having her on place or crate when you leave, it's not a big deal anymore because she spent time on her own. So all those little pieces put together are going to really help you with your separation anxiety. Okay? So let me know how it goes. Let me see who's Alex, the other Laura's better half here. So Sheila, I know I addressed this, 3 dogs, crate train. So if they're crate trained, help me out here, I'm a little bit confused why they are running amok when you come in the door. Is it when you release them from the crate he does this? Or is it that they're not necessarily crated when you're gone? If you could answer me that, I can help you a lot more. Hi, Alex. Oh, Tom, you're the devil. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. Okay, who's next? Alex, I answered some of your wife's questions earlier. So, Kafin, I love your name, by the way, and I hope I'm saying it right. This one's big. This is actually a question I had from last week, but I wasn't feeling well. I wanted to end up around 45 minutes, so I just thought, oh, wow, we're already 26 minutes in. I wanted to address it this week. It's actually something I've been talking a lot about with friends in the dog training community. So, Kafin says, I noticed in your programs that you don't offer board and train programs like some other trainers do. I live on Salt Spring Island and I really want to work with you, but training with you isn't possible because of the commute. What do you recommend? You're right. I don't offer board and train programs. Yes. A lot of dog trainers do. And yes, I am a little bit excited about that I never really introduced them. Number one, we have a smaller space. It's not to say that I will never, ever, ever do them in the future for super heavy cases. But kind of my stance on it is that, sure, I can take your dog in for 3, 4, 5 week, 6 week, even board and train program. I can train them and I can give them back to you and train everything that you need to know. My entire philosophy is based on what you can do with your dog, not what I can do with your dog, okay? So by me doing all of the training for your dog does absolutely nothing for your relationship with your dog. Yes, you'd be doing the upkeep. Yes, you would learn everything that I taught your dog, but it's not what it's about for me. It's about you working through those obedience things with your dog. It's about you working through those moments together and finding out together what works and what doesn't, okay? What do I recommend? I can give you the names of some of the local trainers here that I do know offer board and trains. One of them I know is full and not offering them anymore as of January because she's moving. But I can do some research and see who still offers them. Thank you. That's very flattering that you wanted to work with me. It's too bad that, you know, it probably won't work out, but depending on your dog's issues, it is possible we could do a Skype program. Okay. Now, again, I want to see. Okay, so Sheila has not answered me. So, Laura, you're going to be interested in this one, and Alex. So Suki says, my puppy cries in the crate until I go and comfort her. Is there any other way to get her to stop? Haha. Well, the reason your puppy continues to cry in the crate is because you're going to comfort her. Okay. So by going up, if she starts to cry and you go up there and pay attention to her, she learns very, very quickly that, oh, how do I get mom's attention? I just be really annoying in the crate and then I get exactly what I want. Yeah, it sucks, but it's the truth. And puppies are cute and we think that they're suffering when they're crying, but they're not. Okay. They're not at all. What's going on is puppies are all about learning, and they're all about learning very quickly and very early what works and what doesn't. So I know people that get up in the middle of the night to go tend to their puppy, and I just say, stop, because it's the reason it's keeping happening. Does that make sense? The reason it's still happening. Okay. Do not let your puppy out of the crate when they're whining. Do not go up to the crate, no touch, no talk, no eye contact. I'm sure you've heard Susan Milan say, until your puppy is calm in the crate. If they will not calm down in the crate, you need some sort of interruption. You can smack the top of the crate and then stand there perfectly still. And what you're doing at that point is you're kind of saying, hey, bud, read the room. You're the only one being a brat. You need to settle down. If that doesn't work, you can try it a little bit harder. And then, sometimes you just got to let the baby cry it out, right? I mean, it sucks. I don't know if you have kids. Again, this was a Facebook message from a lady named Suki. Gotta let the baby cry it out. Gotta let the baby learn that being a brat is not the way to get what they want. Okay? It's gonna suck for a little bit. It's gonna be painful on your ears, maybe a little bit on your heart, but you'll be better for it in the end. Okay? Sweet. Next question. So this one's from Mateo. And Mateo, you're in North Van. So if you want, we'd be happy to work with you. CascadiaDogTraining.com. Head on over to the contact page, fill out that contact form. My dog slinks and stalks other dogs while on and off leash. Is this a bad thing? How do I stop it? Okay, so stalking behavior is predatory. Okay, so yes, sometimes it leads to play. I'm not sure if that's the case with you. I'd be curious to know kind of what happens on leash after he stalks, like if it turns into full-blown reactivity, which is usually the case, but might not be with your dog. I have met a dog here or there that slink, realizes the other dog isn't into it, and away they go, right? That's not as common as a dog that turns into a reactive head case when they start slinking on the leash. So it's a body language that is predatory, and not saying that they're ever going to hurt the other dog. But the reason I bring up that it's predatory is because some dogs find it extremely intimidating, okay? Which is leading me to another thought, that conflict, so fights or growling and snarling, happen between dogs when there's different intentions, okay? So one dog wants to play, the other isn't well socialized, doesn't really know the body language, gets uncomfortable, the other dog comes in a little bit too far, the one dog's on it, right? So when there's kind of different intentions and conflict of interest, that's when problems happen. Okay, so your dog's slinking, it might be play, but you might be with an under-socialized, you might be approaching an under-socialized puppy who has no idea what that means, and all of a sudden they're terrified, because most often what follows the slinking is the charging, okay? And if your dog charges the wrong dog, there's going to be a big problem, okay? Either your dog can get bit or get in a fight, or your dog can absolutely terrify a puppy in the really crucial kind of parts of their years, which can be said, maybe that puppy shouldn't be in an off-leash park. I don't know. That's a whole other story. I won't get into it. But is it a bad thing? I don't like it. Okay, so I don't like it. I don't like to see it. I think there are more polite ways for dogs to greet other dogs. How do you stop it? An interruption. So you need some sort of interruption. When you see it, you need to either leash your dog and give them a little interruption on the leash, or you can use, this is something that I wanted to talk about last week and didn't bring it up. You can buy something called a pet convincer, which is a glorified can of air. Okay, I use these. They're the miniature keyboard cleaners from Staples. It's $11 for 2 of them. Does the same thing. And a lot of the times, this right behind the neck is enough of an interruption to snap the dog out of it. Then you're going to need your direction. So if your dog knows heel, bring them into a heel. Okay. If the one thing I wouldn't do is stop. Okay. I would keep your dog moving through it. If you feel it's safest to leash your dog, then leash your dog. But you need that interruption. Okay. Ecollar is also great for this. We do have an Ecollar training program. We also have the foundation training program. So whatever your goals are with your dog, if you're interested in working with us, head on over there, fill out the contact form. Otherwise, check back in next week, because I kind of want to know what happens after the slinking while your dog's on leash, because there could be a couple different things happening, or while your dog's on leash, pardon me. And then I want to know how it goes interrupting his, doesn't say, but his or her behavior, giving them direction to what you'd like them to do instead, and keep walking. Okay. Good. Okay. So I've got a couple more questions here, and then that should wrap it up, unless somebody has questions online, live. Okay. Angela says, and Angela, I'm not sure where you're from, so maybe shoot me a message and clarify that, and I can either work with you myself if you're local, or I can get you in touch with a trainer that's near you. I do have a network of balanced trainers, which is something that you had mentioned that you wanted. Tom, what are you posting? I have no idea. Tom just posted something in the comments and I don't know what it is. Anyways. Okay. Angela says, my dog pulls on the leash really hard and is now starting to become aggressive towards other dogs after meeting a dog on leash that snapped at him. Okay. I am now guessing that him meeting that dog is a bad idea, but I don't know what to do now to help him. He's an 11-month-old GSP, so German Short-Haired Pointer, for those of you who don't know, and he's going to get bigger, and I want to stop this now before it gets worse. Will it get worse? All right, so a few parts to this question. Dogs pull on the leash, a couple reasons. 1, because they can. 2, because they really could care less if you're there or not. You're just the human holding a rope at the end that's holding them back. So what you need to do is some leash work with your dog. What can work really well to interrupt that pulling and kind of let them know, hey, I'm at the other end of this leash. Slip lead. I do have it here. Guys, look at me. So slip lead, you got collar and leash in one. Dog's head goes through here. Fit it up. Tighten it up. This one's new. I think I used this a couple weeks ago too. Right up. You want to put it here. Okay. I talk about this a lot. This is brakes for a dog. This is gas. Anything down here that your dog's pulling against fuels the excited state of mind. Okay, so it fuels the state of mind your dog's in. There's a reflex where a dog feels something here and pulls forward. You put it up here. It's the kind of most sensitive part of the neck. You just need a little pop, right? And it's not a pull, it's a pop, and really kind of interrupts. What I tell people is it's the difference between pushing on someone's shoulder and doing that, right? That's kind of how I get the pop effect. You're going to snap your dog out of that. Okay. I'm just talking about the pulling right now. You can also use a well-fitted Hermspringer prong collar. I do not recommend the ones from PetSmart. They are rough. They do not polish the ends of all of them like Hermspringer does. And the Hermspringer is just much better quality. And again, prong fit right up under here, and you're actually going to need a lot less of an interruption than you will in the slip lead, okay? So he's become aggressive towards other dogs on leash after meeting a dog on leash that snapped at him. This is such a loaded question, Angela. There's so much in here. So first of all, I'm going to get into dogs meeting face-to-face. I had a Facebook post on this a while ago that I think I'm going to share again, maybe next week. I've been getting a lot of questions about it lately. Dogs should never meet face-to-face. Strange dogs, okay? The only time, if you think about it, dogs are, essentially predators or scavengers who have their own territory, right? So the only time that dogs will naturally meet face-to-face, and it's a good thing, is, who's sending all this stuff, is when they're part of the same pack, okay, and they're meeting within the pack, and they're going to give each other affection, or they're communicating with each other. That's when it's, natural for them to meet in good circumstances face-to-face. Now, the only other time that dogs will meet face-to-face, if you think about coyotes or wolves, or I know it's going a little bit extreme, but even think about like packs. For some reason, Russia is coming to mind, where there's a bunch of street dogs in packs running around the city, right? They have territories. So when they meet face-to-face is when another dog is trying to come into the other dog's territory. It's not usually a good situation, okay? I do not support dogs meeting face-to-face in any circumstance unless the dogs, on leash, unless the dogs have been raised together or know each other very well, and there's never, ever, ever been a problem. So what happened in your situation is that you were bringing your dog up, and bless you, you were thinking you were socializing him, and the other dog snapped. Now with puppies, this can happen a lot because puppies don't have boundaries, and they push and they push and they push, and the adult dog goes to correct. Well, what seems like happened in this case is the adult dog maybe went a little bit too far. And now your dog, unfortunately, it probably was a bad idea. You don't know what to do to help him now. So you're right. He is going to get bigger. And if you don't address it, unfortunately, what I've seen is, yes, it will get worse. Okay. So if you would like to socialize your dog, what you need to do is find neighbors that have dogs, or even one neighbor that has a dog, walk them together. Dogs that walk together, work together, walk in the same direction. It's the way to do it. Okay. Don't let your dog meet face-to-face, please. I cannot say that enough. Again, Angela, let me know where you are. I will get in touch with you, and I will hook you up with a trainer if you're interested. I got my network going, so I can do that. But yeah, step one is to stop the pulling, okay? Good. You guys, that's it. That's all I have for now. I don't have any other comments. I am going to hook up my YouTube link and pin it to the top. And then I'm going to see you guys next week. I think it's December 4th already next week. You guys, what the heck? Christmas is just around the corner. For those of you who are watching and who are clients and who are part of Pack Walk, we're going to do one right before Christmas. So that will be fun, as long as it's not too icy and dangerous. But there'll be an email going out about that. And I look forward to talking to you all next week. Laura, let me know how it's going with the crate, and Alex. And then everybody that I talked about, and Sheila, I'm guessing you're still not on, but I would really like to talk to you. Yeah. All right, you guys, have a great night. Again, I'm Michelle Sellars, owner and head trainer at Cascadia Dog Training in North Vancouver. I absolutely love coming on every Monday, answering your dog training questions. I get a ton of questions through the week now. It's insane. And I love to address them, help you guys out, because I can. because I can. Awesome. I feel like there was something else I was going to say. Can't remember what it was. Michelle Sellars, Cascadia Dog Training, North Vancouver. Our website is cascadiadogtraining.com. And I look forward to hearing from you. All right, guys, have a great Monday night. I will see you next week. Bye for now.